Thank you very much. So, yeah, thank you very much, Angela, for the introduction.
You're welcome.
My name is Rohan. I work for Korean Air. I'm part of the sales team here in the London office. Um, yeah, thank you so much for joining, and for anybody who's joining later, thank you for coming back to the YouTube video to watch again. So apologies for the technical issues, but I hope hopefully everything's going to get over and done smoothly. And like Angela said, the slides will be available as well as this video after the session. So to tell you a little bit more about Korean Air, as I imagine some of us will be unfamiliar with the airline. Um, Most recently, our biggest accolade was we won Airline of the Year in 2025 by Airline Ratings, which is Australian airline rating company. And as part of that, we've also won Economy Class of the Year as well, the Gold Award for that. So rest assured, it's you're in good hands with Korean Air, as I hope to continue to show you. So a little bit of background about Korean Air. And so we were established in 1969. We're a founding member of SkyTeam Alliance. And obviously here you can see, I've got the laser pointer on the slides, but for the ladies who just have the slides, on the right-hand side, you can see a list of SkyTeam members. Most recently, and probably most importantly, we've had Virgin Atlantic join SkyTeam, and also SAS as well, which obviously means that mileage and points is compatible and you're able to use across airlines. Notably, on the western side, we also have Delta in as well, and then also closer to home, we have KLM as well. So the most important thing really you've got here on this slide is our contacts for our office. Obviously, contact through Faremine if you have any issues to do with fares being displayed on Faremine directly. But if you have any issues with passengers or any bookings, please contact london@koreanair.com. That will come directly to our office, and I will see that directly as well. We operate out of Terminal 4 in Heathrow, which is the only airport we operate for at the UK. And then just below there, you can see our 24-hour call center helpline as well, which will take you to our call center in Prague, or out of hours will be to Kuala Lumpur as well. Almost a Trump impression level of, we win multiple 5-star awards. We've, Apex 5-star rating, Skytrax 5-star rating again. That was for 2024 and 2025, coming through again. And again, by airline ratings, even last year we were a second best airline globally, and obviously this year come up to number 1. For any of the aircraft boffins, this is just a quick overview of our fleet at the moment as of January 2024. January 2025, I should say. As you see, we've got 23 cargo aircraft, 136 passenger aircraft. And again, for those of you very interested in sort of the aircraft industry, obviously there's a few delays going on right now with Boeing, but we have put multiple orders in for new 787X aircraft, and also a bunch of new Airbus aircraft as well. So we have a very, very big and growing fleet. Not to mention as well, as of last year in December, we completed the share takeover of Asiana Airlines, which is the other Korean airline that some of you may be familiar with as well. And so there's a little bit of a couple of years of consolidation, and then after that, it will all become one airline. So we're very much a big growing organization, and we really look to grow our network across the globe. So this is the aircraft overview we have here, but what is the aircraft really that most of your passengers are going to be flying on? And that is actually the Boeing 777-300ER. And this comes in W and S configurations. And it's a total capacity of 277 seats with 8 first class, 42 prestige class, which is what we call our business, and then 227 economy class seats. Notably, the really good thing about our economy class is it comes in 333 configuration. So we don't have 4 seats in the middle, which gives a little bit more width and a little bit more alley space for passengers to travel across the cabin. This is a quick image showing a couple of new images of our new economy class. We've just recently had an overhaul of all the upholstery, and we've also launched this is our new economy class, and I'll show you some more pictures in a second of our new business class as well. So as you can see, very nice sort of quirky new cabin. We've got USB Type-C charging as well as USB ports, and all the updated sort of international power sockets as well. The economy class, a quick overview. Seat pitch is 33 to 34 inches. I've compared that to Asiana and Singapore Airlines on similar aircraft or operating the same route. You can see it's just a couple of inches extra, which really we feel makes a difference on a long haul flight. In terms of checked baggage, you get one piece of 23 kg baggage. All of our fares, including our saver fares, all come with baggage included. So you can rest assured that any Korean Air flight, you're definitely going to have that 23 kg luggage included there. Seat recline, pretty standard for economies, 118 degrees there. The most important thing, though, that I'd want to highlight in terms of sort of, how would you say this, comfort and sort of familiarity, I guess, is all tickets are refundable. So what this means is it's not that they're all refundable for free. We do have refund penalties for certain booking classes. Of course, if you book a economy flex or business flex ticket, then yes, they are refundable for free. But it just means that there's peace of mind that even if there is some sort of issue and there is a last minute cancellation, you won't lose the entire fare. That you will be able to refund you, but minus the refund penalty. So just to keep that in mind, and you can obviously see the refund penalties on Faremine's platform or on GDS. Here now are some pictures of our new Prestige class, which is launched on our new 787-10 Boeing plane, which is operating a couple of routes intra-Asia. As you can see, very nice, very sleek. For those of you who are familiar with Korean Air before, you'll have known that we very much used a lot of sort of sky blue colors, as you can see from our aircraft as well. This has now changed into a much more sort of professional, slender, kind of sleek, sort of black and grey tones across the cabin as well. And it comes with a much bigger screen as well, at about 23.4 inches as well. So you can now fall asleep watching movies on an even bigger screen. To give you an overview of what the Prestige class looks like in numbers, that's a seat pitch of 75 inches. It's a full recline, 180 degrees, increased seat width, and of course you've got two pieces of actually 32 kg luggage there, so that's a massive increase on luggage as well. I've highlighted here on the left, we have our onboard meal pre-order service. So for any passengers flying, they are able to pre-order their meals beforehand to ensure that they get what they want. And we also have some exclusive pre-order options available. So we'd very much recommend that people do that. You can go onto koreanair.com and to the My Trips section, and your passenger, or you could do it on behalf of them, will be able to pre-select their choice of menu. We also have a premium arrival shower service at a 5-star Incheon Hyatt hotel, which is actually owned and operated by Korean Air. And what this is for Prestige and first class passengers is you can head over from Incheon Airport Terminal 2 where we land, and there's a free shuttle bus to Incheon Hyatt Hotel. And there's no need to pre-book, you just display your boarding pass, and you can receive access to the free shower service. And that's currently operated from 6 to 11 a.m. So moving forward, so what does the actual route look like, and what's the main bread and butter of what you're probably going to be selling, exit UK? So our flight schedule is we operate daily. As mentioned, we operate from London Heathrow into Terminal 4, and we have an evening departure from LHR. And because of the time difference with Korea, which currently in the winter season, they're 9 hours ahead, and then in summer that goes down to 8. But you arrive the next day in the afternoon. And so currently winter season departure times are 6:50, and then summer it goes up to sort of 7:35 or even 7:55. And that's the next day arrival at about 4:30 at Incheon. And the return flight from Incheon, again, Incheon Terminal 2, it's daily operation, and that's a morning departure from ICN. And again, thanks to the time difference this time, you actually arrive on the same day, again, actually at about 4 o'clock, 4:30. So moving on, very important in terms of the future. As we know, the trend across the globe with airlines and immigration is electronic travel authorization. Korea has also been operating this, but luckily at the moment there is an exemption for over 22 different nationalities, including UK and Ireland. and it's a part of a government scheme to boost tourism. So at the moment, if you travel to Korea on a GB and a range of different European nationalities, you won't require to apply for a KETA. So that's some good news. But when and if that exemption ever stops being applicable, please apply on that website and that website only. We're aware that lots of sort of scams and things are around with regards to ETAs. So that's the London Seoul route. In terms of Seoul to the rest of the world and where we operate, this is where Korean Air has really big strength in terms of having a really wide network across the world, particularly across Asia. We have a very, very vast network. So we can see here we operate, this is not an exhaustive list, but we operate to more than 10 different destinations in Japan, China, and we operate Central Asia to India, Nepal, Myanmar, Mongolia, Uzbekistan. Domestically, Korean Air has the most comprehensive network, of course, as you might imagine. And we also fly to numerous destinations in Southeast Asia, and in Oceania, we actually fly to Sydney, Brisbane, Auckland, and Guam. So that is something to keep in mind. We have a lot of loyal customers with us that have been flying with us for decades that will take that route from London to Sydney or Auckland, that fly with us reasonably often. Every winter, and so that usually ends up being a big portion of our onboard passengers. In terms of the European network, if you're ever working with clients that are not departing from LHR, just thought I'd quickly include a map of all of the airports that we actually do operate from. So here we have, you can see that CDG, Amsterdam, Frankfurt, Milan, FCA Rome, Prague, Vienna, Budapest, Istanbul, just on the bottom right there. And then we've got Madrid and Lisbon. We operate in the winter season as well. So Incheon Airport in itself is a 5-star airport for multiple different reasons. Again, everything's 5-star. It's almost exhausting to keep going on about it, to be honest. But we've recently just finished Terminal 2's expansion work that just got completed at the end of last year. That's including an additional runway, which brings capacity to an additional 29 million passengers. Overall, it's an extremely pleasant area to be in. I was actually just got back from South Korea last week. And they've really put in a lot of effort into the airport to make it very smooth, seamless, and just a pleasant place to be in, and making it a really good place to transfer. Part of which is also Incheon International Airport's transfer lounge, which is free for any passengers transiting through the airport. It also has free napping zones. There is a lounge there for transfer passengers only, and there are shower services and massage and sort of yoga stretching zones as well. And it's separate on the 4th floor, so it's separate from all the hustle and bustle of people running to their gates. So yeah, having personally used it, I'd say I definitely think it's a really good addition to the airport. And there's obviously a rotating roster of exhibitions and different artwork being displayed at all the time. So it's really up there in terms of, Hamad Airport or Changi Airport in Singapore. So I'd recommend if obviously you're selling to your clients, but if you've never been to South Korea yourselves, I'd definitely recommend you take the trip. So moving on, I've put this slide in here just to highlight a little bit about and to draw some attention to really what the government is trying to do in South Korea around Incheon International Airport. And really the vision from the Korean government is to create and market Incheon as a global transfer hub in Asia to attract customers, not just traveling to Korea, but also transiting through. And so what we've got here are 3 different photos. The top left is an example of Incheon Hyatt Hotel, actually, which is the 5-star hotel I mentioned earlier. Then on the right-hand side, we have what is called Paradise City. And at the bottom, we have the Inspire Resort swimming pool. And so what Incheon Airport is really trying to invest into and develop is these luxury resorts that are within 15 to 20 minutes drive of the airport for passengers that want that bit of luxury while they're transiting through Korea. Because we're well aware that while Korea is developing as a destination, a lot of the time people will just want to be transiting through. And so we're trying to drive up that sort of stopover package demand as well. Especially for passengers flying over to Australia or New Zealand. It can be a really nice way to break up your trip and really add in a flavor of something different compared to what people are used to. As part of that, in collaboration with Incheon Airport Corporation, we offer a free transit tour service for passengers with under 24-hour transit time, and that includes a hanbok Korean traditional dress experience and a tour of one of the classic and most famous Korean palaces called Gyeongbokgung. And we also have paid self-guided or fully guided package tours available, and those are options to explore either sort of more nearby cities or going even as far down as sort of Busan and Gwangju areas, depending on how many nights that your customers will want to be staying. But overall, there's also the DMZ tour and the demilitarized zone, which can be of interest to a lot of people, anyone interested in the history. And it's a really surreal experience being able to go to that demarcation line and seeing North Korea, essentially. So that's a very popular stopover tour as well. At the bottom, sorry, I didn't realize I could do that. There's a link at the bottom here for anybody that wants more information or wants to take a look at the products available. So one of the most important things for anyone flying passengers to Australia and New Zealand, which I imagine will be a decent amount of you, and for Japan as well, is our STPC service. So STPC stands for Stopover Paid by Carrier, and it's a special sales tool that Korean Air incorporates basically because the inbound return schedule on Korean Air doesn't account for a same-day connection, meaning that the passengers would have to spend the night over in Korea. And so to compensate for this, we provide passengers with a free room, a hotel in a 5-star hotel, which again is just next to the airport. So it's very convenient. It's a really nice way to break up that long travel time for passengers. And most importantly, this is also available for economy class. So this, for flying to Australia and New Zealand, this is available all year round. It's for return tickets, it's available for U class upwards, and for one way, it's available for E class upwards as well. We also offer this STPC service for Japan, for any itineraries going to Japan for people booking sort of cherry blossom tours and things like that. However, please bear in mind that this is only available in the winter schedule only. So that's from 1st of November to the 31st of March for next year. This is available on request by contacting the call center, or alternatively, please feel free to email our office. And subject to room availability, although there's hardly been any times when it's not been available, this will be at the Grand Hyatt Incheon. One thing that is worth noting is that if they're not eligible to enter Korea, we will still be able to provide them STPC in an in-transit hotel, and that will be at the Walker Hill Hotel in Incheon Airport. So even if they're not eligible to enter Korea, we can still do that for them. We think this is Korean Air's best kept secret, and I think it's a really highly effective sales tool that can help drive direct sales with your customers. So definitely encourage you to make the most out of this opportunity. An example itinerary, and just showing the connections of what that's like for flying to Australia and New Zealand. Here you can see departure times, arrival time at the connection point at ICN, and then the departure times again, destination arrival. The table where I've highlighted bits in orange is when it's not a same-day connection, and therefore in those cases, passengers would be eligible for the STPC service. So just to use that as reference for future. So in flight, what can you expect with Korean Air? Of course, authentic Korean cuisine, which these days is becoming extremely popular in London and really across the UK and the West. We have our award-winning bibimbap, which is a popular staple that's been across Korean Air's service for more than the past 20, 30 years, I think. And more recently, we have new vegan-inspired meals by traditional Korean temple food, so inspired by traditional Korean temple food, sorry. Of course, as you may expect from a 5-star carrier, we've got all of our special meal service for infants, children, dietary requirements, and we accommodate for a wide variety of religious dietary restrictions as well. We have a great selection of premium wines selected by our world-renowned sommelier Mark Elmert. And actually, very recently, we took home, I've got the list here, multiple awards from the Cellars in the Sky Wine Awards ceremony, in which we took away gold medal for business class red wine, gold medal for business class sparkling, silver medal in business class white, and silver medal in first class fortified dessert wine. So we know our wines quite well. We also have newly launched Cal Lager with an award-winning Korean brewery. And of course, we also have our onboard pet service, which is available for dogs, cats, birds, subject to size and booking availability of the aircraft. In terms of what you can expect, as I alluded to earlier with SkyTeam, obviously you can use any of the SkyTeam partners' miles on Korean Air, but I just wanted to draw some attention to mileage validity period. You can see some mileage validity terms from JAL and ANA, 36 months, Singapore Airlines is 36 months, British Airways also, KLM Air France only 24 months from last activity. The point really wanted to hit home with this is Korean Air's mileage lasts for 10 years. So by all means, if you're ever flying yourselves or if you're ever flying any passengers on Korean Air, we highly recommend that they sign up for SkyPass, which is our mileage program, and rack up those miles, because you never know, even in another 8 or 9 years, potentially, those miles could come in handy again. So we definitely recommend everyone signs up for our mileage program. We recently, as of last year in September, have launched branded fares, which most of you will be already familiar with economy saver fares. These are available for LUQT booking classes, and they're currently available for the UK to beyond Korea. So not to Korea, but if you're flying passengers to any beyond Korea destinations mentioned earlier, like Japan, Southeast Asia, or Oceania, these are slightly cheaper, more affordable, yet however more restrictive fares that are available for people to purchase. And this is for international revenue tickets only, and they're only valid on KE operated flight numbers. So please bear that in mind. This is just slide I've stuck here for reference for people to come really look to later. These are the fare codes and how you can identify the different saver fares. Move on. So passenger handling and frequently asked questions we normally get from agents. So delayed, damaged, lost baggage, we can submit claims via koreanair.com. Unfortunately, even emailing our office, there's not really much we can do. But please, if there is something urgent, please do still email us. But you can submit your forms online at koreanair.com. In terms of code share with Virgin and seat selection, extra baggage booking, or online check-in, this is something that we've had many sort of complaints about, and it's unfortunately something to do with the code share contract we have with Virgin. So we highly recommend, if you're ever going to, but basically the problem is if you book code share, if you book marketing flight on Virgin, but it's operated by Korean Air, we are unable to help you with seat selection, extra baggage booking, or online check-in. That's something that would then have to be done through Virgin. And what we've heard quite a lot of times is basically the agent will say, well, I talked to Virgin and they said talk to Korean Air. So usually the only way we'd be able to help you in that situation is to help the passenger on the day at the check-in desk for seat selection, which obviously is not ideal. So we really recommend, if you're going to be selling any Korean Air operated, to just sell it on Korean Air as well. Another thing, just a reminder, STPC must be requested. It's not something that, which is why Faremine can't put it sort of automatically on the system. It's not something that's automatically guaranteed, and we need to confirm the client's nationality, Korea entry requirements, and room availability. So please bear that in mind as well. In terms of extra baggage purchase and reissuance, we are able to do that if you contact our office, and we're currently in the midst of rolling out and developing a tool so that agents are able to just do that straight away. I'm sure Angela will have an update in future when I send that over to her. If your client's flight has unfortunately been cancelled or rescheduled, what options are available? Of course, we recommend you email us again at London@Korean Air so that we can advise you the best option that we have. Usually we have, in cases of airline fault cancellations and reschedule itineraries, you're able to reschedule your passenger for free on another itinerary within 6 days plus or minus. If you've incorrectly entered a passenger name in a ticketed PNR, as long as this is not a name change, if this is just a simple spelling mistake of a couple of characters, or you've left a character out, again, please email our office and we will be able to help you. Really, overall, the message is, we are here. We're working, 5 days a week in the office from 9 to 5:30. Just get in touch with us if you have any problems. It's much easier to resolve the problem when you can get through to a person. So yeah, we definitely encourage you to contact us if you have any issues. Finally, a small note on corporate accounts. Korean Air does operate discounts for corporations. So if you handle any demand for any companies that are traveling to Korea, as long as they're making, in terms of revenue on Korean Air, at least 30,000 USD per year, we can offer more discounts going up to, depending on the route and account grade, up to 25% off published fare, and that will be via Faremine as well. So do let us know if you have any corporate demand going to Korea, and that would be very good to know and hopefully get a contract in place. That's all from me. It's been a lot in a very short amount of time. So yeah, please have a look at the slides again in the future. And if you have any questions, like I said, you know who I am now, and you know our email address. Please feel free to email the office at any point, and I'll let Angela get on with the demo now. Please.
Unmute myself there. Right, thank you for that, Rohan. That was very, very informative. I'm sure you'll all agree. So we've chatted about Faremine now, and we've talked about fare types, and obviously Rowan's done his part. So what we'll do now, we'll just quickly whiz over to the website. Just bear with me 1 second. Can you see this? Can you all see that okay? Yeah. Okay, brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay, so you should all have your login details. So we'll just do a London to Seoul route, so it will be London Heathrow. You can put in just London. So when we're in the journey builder here, if you put in London, it will search all airports in London. So if you know the airport code, you can pop that in, or you can search again just by starting to type in the name. So we'll just go a couple of months ahead, pop in the 5th of April. Now with the website, I call the journey builder, I call it the primary filter. So if you've got certain requirements, like today we'll go with Korean Air because that's what the training's tailored around. So any particular airline, pop it in at this point and you will get the best selection. Now, the results that come up once you click search for flights, you get a maximum of 200 results. So that searches across all airlines. But if you're wanting business class on Korean Air, I would be popping that in at this point here. So you can search by class. So what we'll do, we'll just pop in Korean Air here. There we go. Okay, so put as much information if you want to put flight times, if you want to arrive, if you're restricted on flight times and things like that, you can pop that in there as well. But we will just put in Korean Air at this point. Now, when we're doing the training, I just stick to one traveller, and we keep it very basic because we are time limited with it. You get, I think it's 30 minutes you get before it times out. So the adults, I'm sure you'll all be aware of the ages. So your infants are 0 to 1 year, children are 2 to 11, and your youths are 12 to 15, and then you've got your adults as well that are 16 plus. So the fare types, we've already talked about them. Like I say, we've got the tour operator, which are the IT fares as well. The only thing you need to know with these really is that they do need to be booked with ground arrangements. If you book an IT fare without any ground arrangements, it's classed as dry selling, and then we can end up getting ADMs, which we have to pass on to you guys for those. So that's the main thing really to remember with the IT fares. So what we've got a flexible dates matrix, which is very handy if you do have certain airlines that are flying on certain days and then they're not on the date that you've selected. You can use the flexible dates matrix and it will show you 3 days before and 3 days after. So I'm just going to click that now. The system doesn't like it if you tick all 4 boxes. You'll get an error message with that. So if it's one particular you want, you might prefer direct flights, just tick that box, or it might be free luggage fares. So if we just search that now, and it will bring up the matrix. We do need to add here, don't we, Rohan, that route doesn't go over Russia.
No.
It does actually go over Turkey, China, that way. The map
we
needs
fly down
updating.
over Central Asia, as I'm sure you're aware, the Russian airspace is restricted at the moment.
Yeah,
so
of course, yeah. So, so this is the flexible dates matrix. So these are the dates we've selected. These are the cheapest dates to fly. Now, if you hover over, obviously these are all Korean Air. It tells you the class, it tells you whether it's direct, if you've got a stopover, and then that's your cheapest one. So if you click on that, you will see at the bottom they do change. So let's see, we'll go with this one. Now, when we've selected that one, you can see across the top here we've got the airline, the class, the from and to airport, the little map that we just saw a minute ago, and then we've got the fare types as well. Now this is the ticket in time limit, so this is where I said earlier about the seat only fare. It does say if you hover over it, ticket in time limit may vary on option confirmation. So this particular one is saying 8 days, but I would wait until you've actually confirmed the booking, and then Res will send you an email with the actual ticket in time limit. Okay, so the rules, if you click on here, the rules are all in here. We do say pay particular attention to number 16, which is your penalties. So that will tell you any charges for reissues, things like that. So make sure you do have a read of those as well. If there's anything you don't understand with the rules, you can always give Res a call and they can talk through them with you. So like I say, they're there as an additional support for you as well. If you see a little aeroplane in the corner here, it does mean that there's an upgrade available. So if you just click on the upsell button there, it will tell you. So this is the particular fare that we've got at the moment. You pay another 769. You can go to the economy flex and so on, and you can work your way right up to prestige. Okay, so it tells you what you get extra for that extra cost as well. So it's worth using the upsell if you can. Now, we do have information. If you click on the information tab here, this gives you all the information on the flight, the terminal, times of travelling, flight duration, the aircraft. So as Rohan mentioned earlier about the Boeing 777, that's what you would be travelling on this particular route. The baggage allowance there, it says 1 piece, which Rohan again told us the standard piece is 23 kilos, so that's already included within that. If you do upgrade, then more baggage may become available. Is that right, Rowan?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
so that's business class, you get 2 pieces, and then first class is 3.
Yeah, there you go. Thanks for that. Okay, so what we can do, if you want to make adjustments, so you see the price here, so we've got 114732. You may have your Atoll and Safi fares. If you hover over that, you'll see the Atoll and Safi as well, if we are charging you for that. If you want to add a bit of markup on for yourself, you can go to the adjustment tool, which is found here. So if you click on the adjustment tool there, you can add on either £1 or percentage. It's up to you. So if you want to add on £20, you just put in 20, apply, and it'll add on £20 markup. When we get to the next page, that will not be showing on, it will just be incorporated into the total fare and fair price. So that's quite good. And then your web confirmation that comes through and your gross invoices will just show you, it won't show the markup on there. So if you do need to send them documents on to your client, again, if you want to add on a percentage rather than £1, you just tick that percent box, click apply, and it will then add you on 20%. and that's 20% of the total fare and tax. If you do have commission already incorporated into your fare prices, that would be done just on your fare, not the tax, and that's set in the back office. Some of you may or may not have that, but it would show you in red at this point how much of that fare price is commission. Okay, right, okay. So what I need to do, I'm just going to go back so I can show you the filters. So if you just want to come out of flexible dates, you just tick that and click search, and it'll take you back to where we were before. And I'll just show you the filters on the side. So we use the primary filter, which was the journey builder, to get the information to pull all the fare types up. And we do have filters here. We do get more of them depending on how many legs of the journey. If you do want multiple legs, you can go to them by adding or taking away there. And so for here, we can do the inbound journey, and we can filter it by arrival time, departure time, journey time. So these just filter the information that you get from the results here. Okay, so what we'll do, I'll just go and book this one now. So to select, you just select the flight. This one is saying 44 days ticketing time limit, which will not be right. So I do apologise for that. It is something that we are working on at the minute. So just again, wait until the confirmation comes through to see what the ticketing time limit will be on that. But it is generally 3 days, not 3 days. So pop in the passenger information here. Now, once you've filled in the passenger information, the only things you can go in and change are your seat selections and your date of birth and the gender. You can't change the name or the routing. Anything like that would need to be a new PNR. So the additional passenger information here, if you have it, the airlines do like you to fill in this information at this point if you can do. So the earlier they get the information, the better.
Yes. Also, sorry, a quick note for Korean Air, we by default require everyone to put middle names into the booking. So just a reminder that in the forename section, if you just add the middle name in afterwards, that's just to make sure that when people are checking in that. Well, I say you need to add the middle name. If you make sure the name is exactly as it is on the passenger's passport.
There.
Yeah.
So there, you all know my middle name now. So yes. Right, thanks for that, Rowan. Yes, I did forget to tell them that. So right, okay, so we'll leave that as it is. The seat requests and meal requests and frequent flyer information, we wouldn't put this in at the point of option. Wait until you've issued the tickets and then you can go back in and add them. It's just nothing will be guaranteed if the ticket's not being paid for, so priority will be given to paying tickets. So at the point of holding option, I wouldn't be bothering with this, but it can be done. So you can see there, and it tells you the extra costs for certain seats. And we've got the meal requests as well. You can pop them in there. And then your frequent flyer information, if they do collect the points and they get 10 years on them, like Rowan told us earlier, you can choose put the information in here as well. Okay, so the emergency contact details. Now make sure this information is correct at this point. Once we've confirmed the option, that will go off to the airline and we can edit that. So make sure that it is the lead passenger, that you put their mobile number and their email address just in case the airlines do need to contact them in an emergency. Okay, so as you can see here now, we added some commission in, and that's now hidden within the fare price. Okay, so to confirm the option, we just need to tick that box there, and we have to tick the rules and regs and the terms and conditions, which are the terms and conditions are between Faremine and the agent, not Faremine and your client. So you'll have your own T's and C's for those. If you want to send the confirmation off to multiple email addresses, you can do as well, just by clicking on the ad. Okay. So I'm just going to book this one now. Just please make sure that when you are holding an option, you do tick that box. If you don't, then we will issue the tickets and the usual fare rules will apply. So we can void them the same day free of charge, and you can do that online now as well. But just be really careful when you are holding options. It does happen, human error, we all do it. So it's not the end of the world, but it's just less hassle for Res if they need to get involved as well. So we'll just book that now.
Just a note on prices there, because I mean that is an astronomical price. I think Angela could not have picked a more full month to fly. So in Korean Air we have, as you can imagine, a lot of demand going to Japan and Korea for cherry blossom season, and it's also school holidays with Easter as well, which is why the prices are like that. It's not always, if you do the same itinerary for maybe May or June, that's definitely not going to come up with those kind of prices. And I think, as you saw, there was sort of only 8 seats left on I think the outbound flight as well. So just yeah, because I saw some people's faces going, "Whoa, hold on a minute." Yeah, just to give you a heads up, they're all not all like that.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry about that. I don't even think about that when I'm putting the dates in. And don't forget there was 20% commission included in that as well. So that will have bumped the price up. So just bear that in mind, obviously. Right, okay, so that's all booked now. So your last 6 alphanumeric, there you go. That's your PNR. So that's what you would quote when checking in with the airline. So, or if you want in extra baggage, things like that, you would quote that PNR. So there you go, that's been held now. That's held an option. It says until the 3rd of April, but that's very unlikely that it will be. You will get, as soon as that's gone into the GDS, there will be an email come over from Res that will say your ticket and time limit is this. So just look out for that coming in. So to retrieve your bookings, you go to my account, and you can just go to your option bookings, or you can go to manage my bookings, which will have absolutely everything on there. And here we go. So this is the one that we've just done. So it tells you you're on option there. These are all cancelled. So to make any amendments, you go into the magnifying glass at the side there. So say we had have ticketed this and we shouldn't have done. I'll show you where you can go in and void it. So if you just click on the magnifying glass, and down here it does look very pasty until you put the cursor over it. If you click on more actions, and you can see now you've got the option to cancel, modify. So to modify it, you will just be able to go in and change the date of birth or the gender. So had we have ticketed this, the void tickets, as you can see at the bottom there, that's got a line through it because we can't void it because it's only an option, but that's where you would go in and void it. Again, if you want to just cancel it, you can cancel it there and view the conditions. That just brings up the fare rules again. Okay. So if you want to modify, I'll just quickly go onto this screen and show you. Right, sorry, it's taking longer than it normally does, is this?
I wonder if just while that's loading, sorry, it's just because I mean I'm conscious we're doing this whole training thing, just basically talking at you guys for almost an hour now. What kind of routes in general do you end up selling, or what? I know Paul, you mentioned earlier, sort of New Zealand expert. But yeah, Tracy and Nikki, it'd be good to just hear quickly what what areas and what routes sort of you normally end up selling for clients.
I do everything and anything. I've got guys currently in Seoul with that we booked with you guys, but they are doing a kind of round the world thing. So.
Oh wow, awesome.
Yeah.
Really cool. And Tracy?
Yeah, I'm basically offering worldwide. If I'm honest with you, I don't get the demand for Seoul as a destination. I do quite a lot to Thailand, so it's opened my eyes to consider when a lot of clients are sort of stopping off, most of the time people tend to use Emirates as a hub. I find a lot of my clients are big fans of Emirates.
Yeah, yeah.
This has opened my eyes to consider using Seoul and using Korean, and I was just quite myself taken back with the flatbeds, thinking, oh, one day I'll be flying flatbeds again. And me and my husband are hoping to get to Bangkok this year because our best friends have moved from Hong Kong to Bangkok, and they're like, when are you coming out to see us? I'm like, when I can afford to fly a flatbed again, because since COVID, like we were going out to visit them in Hong Kong for 780 on premium, and now you can't get a premium under about 2,300.
No.
And I can't see a flatbed under £4,000. And I'm saying to my friends, well, I'm not sitting on a 12-hour flight in economy because I'm 5'10", my husband's 6'2", and it's just a killer. I'm too old to sit in economy for 11 hours. And every day I'm just sitting on there dreaming of like a premium economy affair to come back. But it's never going to be as cheap as it was. But I was just sitting there looking at your flatbeds thinking, oh, that's quite interesting. But no, so I do probably more Far East and Caribbean and Europe. I don't get many clients doing Australia and New Zealand. And it's funny when you just said about the cherry blossom. I've just sent a quotation over, funny enough, for a really amazing itinerary for Japan. And Japan's really, I don't know about you guys, Nikki and Paul, but to me, Japan, all of a sudden, it's sort of come on the radar. I've been doing my job 27 years. I've had my business 13 years, and I can probably count on one hand how many times I've bought Japan. And I think it's quite interesting because I was talking to my team the other day, and basically we were saying like different parts of the country where we all live, got different people wanting different products. So I'm an Essex girl, not that you can tell, of course. And so many people want Stansted, they want to go to Dubai. You talk to somebody else that's based up north, and like, oh no, my clients, they don't want to go anywhere in the bloody sandpit. You know, and it's just quite interesting, different dynamics of the country, what different people want for the holiday. So I actually do quite a lot of Middle East because they love it, Rohan. Seoul, I find, I'd love to go to Korea at some point. I mean, I love a bit of Gangnam style dancing, but that's another story for another day. But it's somewhere that I don't find quite interesting. And people are getting more adventurous since COVID, even though it's 5 years ago. I mean, that just feels like a dream, doesn't it? I think people are getting more experimental with their destinations rather than a traditional fly and flop. So Absolutely. Let's hope that, it's opened my eyes, definitely, this training. And I'm definitely going to have a little play around with, maybe I could stop off there and go on to Thailand at an affordable rate. So now listen, I was listening to it all, but there's so much to take in. So please excuse me if I've got one quick question. Sorry. If we want to go as an agent, do you actually offer a special agent rate? And if you did say it's gone completely over from here, or do we just have to look at the net fare and take the commission off?
No, good question. So no, that's not something I mentioned in the presentation.
Good.
Yes, we do have AD tickets. I'll have to double check the criteria, and I'll send it over to Angela so she can share it with you guys. But yeah, if in most cases, to be honest, for us with AD, it's usually Y class, so it's pretty expensive. So unless it's a situation where there's not really availability and you really want to go, or you really need those specific dates, it's usually better off just ticketing on the net.
Right.
From experience, that's generally what it's been like for economy class. For business class, it's a little bit different, but for economy class, so you're probably just better off with the.
I want a business class seat, but I want it as a prices that I paid 5 years ago, not the new post-COVID price.
That's not
happening. So do I. Yeah.
Again,
so do I.
Me too. I don't think it's ever coming back. Yeah.
Well,
I know.
Pre-COVID, we were doing quite a lot of Korean, because the fares were I'm quite boring in that I just do New Zealand and a bit of Australia. But the Korean fares then, the business fare was not a million miles away from SQ Cathay Premium.
Yes, yeah.
And it was incredible value. Whereas now all the airlines have seen that, I think that airlines quite understandably use it as a reset. And they've proven the point. People are still paying it. People are paying $7,000 to fly to New Zealand.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, and I've always said, if you can afford to pay $5 million, you can afford to pay $7.5 Whereas the economy market is quite different.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that's really the logic behind the SPC as well. Like we know it's not compared to SQ or compared to EK or something like that. It's not the same convenience and schedule, but really, I mean, even from a personal point of view, I mean, I've not been to Sydney or Auckland yet, but I'd love to go at some point. And I just think that the travel time anyway, regardless of who you're flying with, is just going to be a real knocker on, and it's going to take a lot out of you. So for me, even doing the SDPC on the way back can just be a really nice way to just go back to get the hotel, have a shower, and then reset in the morning before you're on another 10 plus hour flight.
Yeah.
That's
Interesting.
good.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's fine. So
Yeah.
I do apologise. It looks like the system's crashed, which is unfortunately what happens sometimes. It was fine when we did the trial, wasn't it, Rowan?
It was.
So
it was.
it's I do apologise that, but just go on yourself and you'll see. It's just going to modify your booking. And Paul, do you use website, Paul?
No, I use Sabre.
Oh, you do. You queue to us, don't you? Yeah, of course you do. Yeah. So
I go onto the website every now and again, but I'm familiar with Sabre now, so I tend to stick with what I know.
Yeah, that's fair enough, is that? But at least you've seen how the website works. Like, have you ever gone through and done an option booking on the website?
Oh yeah, I've done that a few
you've done
times.
The options. Yeah, that's fine. So, well, you know all about Korean Air. Hopefully, Nikki, Tracy, you've learned a little bit about Faremine as well. If there is anything you want to follow up afterwards, please let me know. Especially Nikki or Tracy, if you do want a follow-up one-to-one or anything like that, we can do that, not a problem. Just drop me an email, or if you've got any queries on fare types, anything like that, drop me an email and we can pick this up individually afterwards. So but no, thank you to Rohan, thank you to you all for joining us. I love doing these lunch and learns with the airlines because you learn so much and it inspires you as well. I don't know if you all agree. It does make you think like, oh, I want to go and stay at this hotel now, and it's there's loads of places on my bucket list now from doing.
Well, I'm desperate to travel Korean. I was because I'm going down to New Zealand in April. And I couldn't make the times work because I'm in the provinces, because I'm up in Manchester.
Okay.
It doesn't work brilliantly for me in terms of timing. So but because we've had quite a few clients who travel with them or with you, and my colleague Sally, who I work with, she's travelled with you as well, and the feedback is absolutely fantastic. At the business class level, the feedback is brilliant.
Great.
Five
star
airline.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But that's compared to the likes of Singapore, Qatar, Etihad, Emirates. The consistently good feedback at the business class level.
I'm very glad to hear it. Yeah, I mean, one thing we absolutely pride ourselves on is that level of service. Like our cabin crew are extremely attentive without being pushy, which I think is a very very fine line to be able to manage. And yeah, touch wood, every time I've flown with them, it's always been a really pleasant experience. And of course, like you say, comparing to these other 5-star, extremely high quality airlines as well. Glad to say that we're not down below them by any means. We're up there, right up there with them. And compared to the Middle Eastern airlines, we definitely have a lot less money compared to them. So for the same, for a lot less money, we're trying to provide the same level of service.
Yeah, brilliant. So yes, please bear Korean Air in mind then when you're doing your routes to Australia, New Zealand, Japan. So right, well, we have run over schedule slightly, so that's probably because of my little technical glitch there. So I will say goodbye to you all. Thank you so much for attending, and like I say, anything else, you can contact myself or Rohan with any questions.
That's great.
Okay.
Yeah,
thanks, Rohan.
Okay.
Bye all.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.